Okay, I think we are officially good to go. I have been having tech issues all afternoon. So if you have caught any of these and there have been glitches, I apologize. But thank you so much for supporting the channel. In this video, we are going to talk about the question of when should a baby be able to roll from their back to their belly and their belly to their back. Now, with baby development, there is a range of normal where babies may hit it a little bit on the early side. So say there's a 3-month range. If a baby hits the milestone within this 3-month range, it is totally considered normal. Some babies are going to hit it a little bit earlier. Some babies are going to hit it right in the middle, and then some babies are going to hit it a little bit towards the end, but still totally fine. Anywhere within that range is considered completely normal, completely acceptable. And it's just every baby develops a little bit on their own schedule, and that is perfectly fine. So when babies are rolling from their belly to their back, typically they are able to do it within the 3 to 5 month range. A lot of times babies are highly motivated to get out of tummy time because it is so difficult for them, and they learn to roll from their belly to their back a little bit earlier than they do when they're rolling from their back to their belly. Now, this is not set in stone. Some babies may roll from their back to their belly earlier than some babies who roll from their belly to their back. As long as it hits it within that range, it's totally fine. So babies roll from their belly to their back within 3 to 5 month age range, and from their back to their belly within the 4 to 6 month age range. Now, when you're rolling from your back to your belly, it takes a little bit more core strength because you have to bring kind of both arms to one side, and that requires a lot of engagement from the core musculature, as well as coordination and flexibility to get both of their arms over there. So a lot of times that takes another extra month while they're developing their arm strength and their core strength when they're in tummy time, sideline play, or back play in order to be able to get from their back to their side and then from their back to their side to their belly. Now, sometimes you may see babies who are early rollers. So this is apparent on TikTok and on Instagram, where you may see a 2-month-old rolling from their belly to their back or their back to their belly. Now, what I encourage parents of any child showing signs of rolling before the age of 3 months to do is make sure that they aren't also showing signs of feeding concerns or increased tension and just discomfort in their body. Sometimes fascial restrictions are basically like that white surface on like a chicken breast. It's tough. It doesn't really flex super easily. Sometimes babies have tension in their different musculoskeletal layers. So where their skin meets their fat tissue, where their fascia, which covers the muscles, and how all those layers go together. And they can have just a lot of tension in their nervous systems and in their musculoskeletal system. So if you notice that there is tension in the body and they're just kind of tossing themselves from one position to the other, and it's not like a fluid roll where their upper half of their body kind of goes to one side and then their lower half of their body follows it, or they're not able to kind of hold on one elbow, reach and play with a toy, and reach behind and kind of start initiating that roll. They kind of just literally like push off the ground and toss their body over. You might want to talk with a lactation consultant, so a CLC or an IBCLC. Those are the certified lactation consultants, an OT, a speech pathologist. Those are the feeding therapists. And sometimes some pediatric physical therapists are also additionally trained in tethered oral tissues, as well as craniofacial or craniosacral techniques or body work, which is that soft tissue component. to help babies release that tension. Sometimes it does require an actual release of the tissues in the mouth, but sometimes it's just a matter of working the muscles as well as learning how to use your muscles and decreasing the tension further down the body. So we do not want to just have like a stiff kind of trunk in order to be able to have well-developed future movement patterns, because it takes a lot of different coordination of different muscles and you need flexibility as well. Going from sitting to rotate, bring both hands to one side to go into crawling, and then also walking and having dynamic stability and balance in order to hop, jump, skip, and all those further more difficult stuff down the road. So if you do notice that a baby is fussy, looking into some of those alternative methods like craniosacral or craniofacial, or making sure that there is no signs and symptoms of tethered oral tissues. That is often seen with babies who are struggling with rolling. That's usually kind of feeding and struggling with rolling are kind of the first signs, or in difficulty with tummy time. So all of those things are really helpful to know, for parents to know. And if you are struggling with tummy time or learning, or you really just want to be educated on how babies move and what proactive things you can do to make sure that your baby has the best foundation possible so that they can master rolling easily, this book is my brain in paper form, and it is linked in the description as well as it'll be in the pinned comment, so that you can have literally all you need to help your baby master rolling. Now, if you do all of the exercise in the books and your baby's still struggling, or you do have concerns on rolling, like your baby is past 6 months, I always encourage any parent, if a baby is not rolling in any direction after 6 months, to speak to a pediatric physical therapist, to have an individualized session with them, just to figure out exactly where your baby is maybe missing a couple of pieces of the puzzle, so that you can have the quickest, fastest, and easiest experience and best results overall. But if you are looking for increased help or strategies, maybe you don't have PTs in your area, or you're just looking to learn more about rolling in general, this book has so many things. So for parents of newborns, it has a checklist of all of the things that tummy times looks like from 0 to 8 weeks to 3 months, or to 2 months to 3 months to 4 months to 5 months and 6 months. So how it looks a little bit different, the importance of tummy time, and checklists so that you can know, hey, has my baby done all the things they need to do in tummy time in order to be ready for rolling? So maybe they're struggling with pushing through their arms to lift their chest. Okay, if yes, then start at the tummy time section and mobility arms. And then you're like, okay, well, where is mobility arms? And you go to the table of contents and you're like, okay, arm mobility exercises, page 199. Okay, towards the end. Okay, and then you've got pictures for you to kind of follow along and look at, to see, hey, let me try all of these exercises with my baby and see if any of them are tough. And then if they are tough, I'm going to go to the baby's tolerance, but I'm going to focus on these areas so that we can fill in the gaps that maybe the baby themselves on their own, just as they're moving around, babies often use the path of least resistance. Sometimes we need more structured interventions or just intention towards those areas so that babies can master the full milestones and not just 70% of what they're intending to do. You want to make sure that the baby is able to do all of the things and they have everything they need in order to be able to do it well and easily. So there's all of those different things. There's also in the front of each exercise section a link for the free video course. So if you're like, hey, pictures are great, but I need a little bit more information, how does this all fit together? How does it look like where I place my hands in actual movement so I can watch it a couple of times so I can feel really comfortable in order to do it on my own? Then you will have free access to that video. Once you purchase the book, the link will be in like a ton of the pages. You literally cannot miss it. So you just go to that website, drop your info in, and then you get emailed access to the course platform. And it also allows for, there's tons of checklists in here. So it also allows for you to download and print PDF versions of this checklist, as well as like pages where you could take notes if you wanted to, because I'm a huge note taker. And so I love that. Now, if there are any questions, I know I feel like this is like the 10th try on this YouTube live, so no one might be actually live with me. If you catch this recording, feel free to drop questions in the comments. I love connecting you guys with resources and information so that you feel like you have everything you need to help your babies learn to roll. All right, I will give like one more second on live questions, but otherwise, yep. Okay, that person just dropped. So, all right, guys, drop any questions on the recording into the comments and I will make sure to respond and get back to you.